Hi, this is Joseph. In this video, I'm going to go over my plan to acquire $4 million in funded accounts in order to earn about $150,000 to $300,000 per month in payouts. So this was my original plan when I first started trading funded accounts. I'll give you a brief background. So when I first heard about funded accounts, I thought the whole thing was a scam. I really did. I didn't really want to spend too much time looking at it or watching any of the videos. Most of the people that were talking about funded accounts were a bunch of young guys with tattoos driving Lamborghinis, and I thought that they were all lying. I found out a little bit later on through one of my coaching clients that in fact some of them are making money, but very often what a lot of them end up doing, a lot of these young guys who are buying these big funded accounts, they also blow up those funded accounts because in my opinion, it's basically controlled gambling is the way that they're approaching it. They're using really extremely large leverage. I mean, these guys are over leveraging their accounts and they're trying to pass the funded challenge in about 1 or 2 days, sometimes in just like a week. And then they want to get as quick as possible to that payout. And very often what you'll find if you watch some of their channels is that maybe a couple of weeks or maybe even a month later, they end up blowing up that account. And then what they do is they take some of the profits that they've earned and they buy another account and they start the process all over again. So they aren't consistent traders in the sense that they know what they're doing, they have the experience to be able to control their behavior, and they have a really good trading edge, something that is a very good, reliable mechanical system that they have used for years, and they've learned from other professional traders. They're not by any means a professional trader, they're just gambling with a large portion of the funded account because they're not liable. If they blow up the account, it's not going to come out of their pocket. They just lose that opportunity and they buy another funded account. Well, that's not obviously my approach. I'm a professional trader. I've been doing this for 22 years and I don't approach trading in that gambling mentality. So I was going to do this in a very methodical way. And once I realized through one of my coaching clients that this was a legitimate offer, the way I found out about it was that one of my coaching clients had approached me and asked me if I would trade his funded account for him and that he would give me a split of the payout. And that's when I really started to look at the details of what these funding companies offer. So we went through the process. I traded the account for the first 30 days, hit the profit target, and then for the second 30 days, and he was able to earn real profits, and then he gave me a portion of that. And at that point, I realized that it was real, that it was a legitimate thing. And he asked me if I would continue to trade the account for him because while I was coaching him, this was only 2 months into the coaching, he was still not ready or proficient to trade on his own. So then I decided, try using my trade copier. So we found out that this one particular funding company allowed the use of trade copiers. It's just kind of silly if you think about it for a trader to save up $10,000 in their own personal trading account and then hit a 10% target, which is only $1,000, and then try to live off of that. Like that's, nowhere near the trader lifestyle that we all dream about and that we all want to live. We know that trading can generate profits, that exceed that. Like it's unlimited if you have access to more capital. So by going to these funded accounts, you can get a $250,000 account, a $500,000 account, or even $1 million trading account. And imagine hitting a 10% target and getting 75% of that. Like that is life-changing for a lot of people. So again, my total funded account from all 6 companies initially in the beginning when I started doing this was $4 million. Again, my initial profit, my targets were between 5 and 10%. Now, sometimes it's going to be a little bit more than that, and sometimes it's going to be right around 5%. Let's say over the last few months, the markets have been in relatively tight ranges of consolidation. Daily average trading ranges have been smaller than they were back in April and May. So, for me to factor this in gives me a pretty good idea of what I'm going to be earning on my funded accounts. In April and May, as I mentioned, I exceeded the 10% targets. So this means I could expect to earn about $150,000 to $300,000 per month if I average a 75% payout. Again, some companies will pay more than that. So again, as I mentioned, I've spent over $25,000 in the beginning to acquire the first round of all of these accounts, and then I linked the ones that I could to the trade copier. So the trade copier will copy all of my trades when I execute a trade on my main account. And I took the most strict set of rules and guidelines, and I use that to trade every single day so I don't breach any of the rules with any of the funding companies. And as I mentioned, Many of the funding companies allow more than one account per client, and you can either merge the accounts or hold them independently. And even better, there are many other funding companies that I didn't know about when I started, so there's more capital that I can acquire, and they have been in business for at least 2 years. So what does it take to make all of this work? You obviously need the skill to execute a trading system that works without making trading mistakes and without trading in fear. This is obviously easier said than done, and it can take some traders many years to master and control their own thoughts and behavior and to flawlessly execute a mechanical trading system. Again, I have been trading full time for 22 years. It was not an easy journey, and I don't recommend that anyone trying to acquire capital through funding companies if you can't consistently earn monthly profits each and every single month before you try to get a funded account. So what are your options if you can't trade consistently right now, but you want to get the profits from a funded account? Well, the first thing that I would recommend is hire a good trading coach now, and it can be expensive. Keep in mind, you're trading in a business that attracts some of the smartest and the wealthiest individuals around the world. And if you think that you're going to join this business, buy a funded account and just use the Fibonacci tool to pass, you're in for a very rude awakening. I know that it's strong to say that, but that's the reality. And that's what I went through in the beginning of my trading career. And I don't recommend trying to do it on your own. You're going to spend a lot of money either by blowing up a lot of accounts, and it can take years to figure it all out by yourself. Find a coach with many years experience to teach you to trade like a real professional trader. Or you can use my trade copier service and copy all of my trades. That's what I do with all of my other funded accounts that allow me to use the trade copier. And that's what my trade copier subscribers do. They use my trade copier service. They copy all of my trades. That gets them to pass the evaluation stage. And then once they've earned the live funded account, they continue to use my trade copier so that they can get profits earned on that live funded account. And really, the sky's the limit. You can do the same thing that I'm doing. You can go to all of these different reliable funded companies with the profits that you've earned from the first one and buy additional trading accounts and link them to the trade copier as long as that broker allows the use of a trade copier. Right now, you can still get one of these two options to subscribe to my trade copier. Each subscription includes a free consultation with me, and I'll help you select the right funding company. And your subscription time to use the trade copier, it doesn't start until we connect your funded account to the trade copier and you get your first trade. So this will give you time to buy the subscription, get your consultation with me, and then go out and buy your funded account after you've selected the right company. I strongly recommend that you take advantage of funded accounts. It just doesn't make any sense to save your own money and use your own money to make small profits. I wouldn't delay. With things changing the way they are, everything becoming more expensive, and you needing access to more income and more capital, I would get started on this right away because it can take up to 45 days to 60 days before you see your payout. But if you purchase now, you will lock in these rates and you will never experience a rate hike on my subscriptions. Click the subscribe button. Tell me which subscription package you want, either the 4-month plan or the 8-month plan, and we'll send you an invoice. Once you pay that invoice, you can get started right away and we'll give you all the instructions and you can schedule your appointment with me for that consultation so that we can pick the right funded account and the right funding company for you. And we'll start getting those trades into your account right away.